Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Together here. Oh my goodness. Ah,
Okay. It's just still getting set up. Trying to get set up anyway. There we go. Okay. I had a lot of content to get to my computer so it could be shared.
The info out there.
my God.
Wait, what's going on? Wait, come on now. Everybody, we'll be right with the show in a minute, just getting set up. Okay, let's see if this worked. All right, here we go. All right, I think I'm all set with everything. I believe. Yep, I got that. Okay.
Cool.
So I got our mailbag set up. I got some videos ready. Got some pictures.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, Mark, you all set?
Yes, of course.
Oh, wait a minute. We're supposed to have a guest. Let's see what's going on with our guest.
Oh yeah, wow.
Right.
I
Special guest.
forgot about that.
Mashallah.
What is the meeting ID? Okay. 8:30. Wait. Okay. Dude, I sent you the link. 667. I gotta memorize this number. 886-4721. Oh, there he is. He's actually here. Okay.
Mashallah.
All right, so you can open this up, Mubarak.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد.
All right, assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome to the R2F show. This is Jaffer, and we have Amr and Mubarak. And if you're new to the show, we are the R2F Return to FITRAH group. This is a show we put on weekly every Saturday night. We changed our time to 8:30 because of the time change, and might as well get it done earlier.
Mhm.
And what we do is we combat spiritual abuse in the Ummah and talk about various things that have led people astray, cult behavior and activities, and just anything related to trying to help Muslims stay on the right path and avoid people using Islam for their own means and to take advantage of people. Tonight we're gonna have a pretty free-flowing show. We have a lot of content to cover. But first we have a guest, and let's see if he's on. He should be on here. Oh yeah, he's here.
Yeah, he's
So
here.
let's all right. And brother, you can just introduce yourself. We're gonna let him speak. We'll give him some time to introduce himself and kind of tell his story, and then we'll just get in with some questions. And audience, if you have questions, whether you're on YouTube or in the Zoom chat, just type them in there when you have them, and we'll present them to him. So go ahead, brother. The floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How's everybody?
Well,
Alhamdulillah.
Sorry, I'm late. I didn't know you had to have a meeting ID.
Yeah, we were a little late too, so it's okay.
Nah, just basically I'm here to get on this platform. I appreciate y'all. And it was a situation many moons ago. The lady I was married to got a khula, and the way they went about it was the wrong way.
Okay.
I left.
Well, just real quick before we get into that, just tell everybody like what your name is.
Oh, Nadima.
How long?
Nadima.
Yeah, how long you been? Go ahead.
Nadim Abdul Halim, aka Abu Husni. So
Okay.
I've been in the Jamaat since we could say 98.
Okay.
I left maybe 2011, 2012, somewhere around there.
Okay.
So I've been in good spirits for a while, away from all that toxicity.
Alhamdulillah.
So basically, I mean, it's gotten worse from what I hear. It's not that,
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
So were your parents in it? So how did you get into Timor?
I became Muslim. I married into it, but a brother named Jamal Abdul Wahed, he was one of the first people to go over to Egypt at that time, and he the one that gave me Shahada.
Wow.
And there was some things going on in Egypt, some infidelities. And he the one that married my ex-wife to the brother that she's married now.
Oh wow. So when we say Egypt, just so everybody knows, we're talking about the people that went over there to supposedly be the quote unquote Azhar scholars, correct?
You're right, and they never got a ijaziyah. I don't care who or whoever, they never got an ijaziyah. They went over there and didn't get what they supposed to get. It was a waste. It was a wasted trip, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. However, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. So when you say they, I mean who? Because I know that there's been plenty of people who have went over supposedly, and they call them Azharis and whatnot. But I mean, when it comes to scholarship, and it's important, and it's not about being like it being an expose or something like that. But when a person or when people are claiming scholarship or some knowledge of a thing, it's a disservice to the people who actually have taken the time and energy and effort to actually get those type of degrees and ijazat and that type of scholarship. So for if people are coming back not having actually made the grade, so to speak, and presenting themselves as such, they definitely should be exposed, and it should be known, because it's dishonest to the people, and it's also disrespectful to those people who have gone over there and took the effort and actually did what it took to actually get those type of accolades. So I say that to say, who are these people? I know you mentioned some people who are over there, but as far as the people who you said didn't get what they were supposed to get, who are they?
I mean, my ex-wife, a couple of other brothers, Mahmoud from Georgia, and then there was other people that was going there. So I did, they was going there, like, you had a first group that went there, then you had another group of people that went there, and then some people came back, and then some people went back and forth and back and forth. But as far as I know, no one got a jazzia. Now, you have a right as a student or to follow these people to say, where's your jazzia? This is a thing of a manner. This is a trust. When you go to the doctor's or when you go to the dentist, the first thing you see on that wall is this degree of Syracuse, degree of Howard University. You always see that. Even if you get at a job and you go to the medical, Allah Ta'ala forbid, you get injured, you see some type of certification. When you at a job and they train you, they say, we're going to train you on this. We're going to train you on on stamping the mail. So you're gonna be certified in stamping the mail in this department. They're gonna train you. You have to have that's a jazzy. When you drive a car, that's an jazzy. You
Right.
know, you have that's an amana. I know for sure that you know what you're gonna teach me. You know, and if not, I mean, if you don't, I can know who to go to. There's a chain. Even Qadis, they have to have a chain. You know, who's your teacher? Who's your teacher? Who's his teacher? You know, so that's just basically it. So have they shown you in a jazzia? No, they haven't shown. I don't see no jazzia. You know, they're not.
So as far as you know, as you're involved in your last known, they weren't actually attending or received anything from actual Azhar University. And I can also attest to that too, that I was actually over there visiting, and the way Azhar is, it's a public, free, open university. So even when I was there just visiting, I could have just walked in and attended classes, so like you can technically attend Azhar without actually enrolling in Azhar. So you could go, like, they don't restrict the beneficial knowledge. So you can go sit in the classes with the scholars and learn. But and as far as I know, that's what some of them at least were doing by the time that I went over there, but it might have been years after your experience.
Okay, you could do that too, but you have to have a jet. Then you can go to that shuyukh and say, this person is teaching such and such. You have to have idhn to teach maybe just a partial of it. Like I'm under a qadi, so I have an idhn to teach just the alphabet or just things out of Quran Nuraniya. I have that idhn, but I'm not going to teach rules of tajweed. I'm not going to teach like the modes of recitation, hafs, Jafari. I don't have that. I don't have that amana. I don't have that permission. But I have a scholar you can go to.
Yeah. So as far as your before we get into like the actual circumstances surrounding, like your separation, the stuff, the kind of shadiness that went with the Kula divorce and all that, how was your experiences inside of being, the TMOA group and being a member of TMOA, the good and the bad of it?
It's a little rough. You got dysfunctional people. You're gonna have the goods and the bads. I was on the council. I mean, you're gonna have people who abuse Allah Ta'ala's mercy. You're gonna have people abuse people in a sense of the charity and all that stuff. I mean, but I didn't look at that. I was looking to raise my children in a Islamic environment, away from the dunya and everything. I made hijrah from New York to Red House, Virginia, and I was there for maybe about, I would say, 6 years, 7 years. So I was on the land. I was on Ahmadabad West for about 6-7 years, from Amelia, Virginia. So that sacrifice and putting in that time and migrating your family there and raising your children on the land and stuff, but it didn't have structure. It didn't have structure. Being a college grad and being amongst people who don't think it's imperative to get a job. That doesn't register with me. Then they complain about working with the kufa, this is a problem. Yes, it is a problem, but you have to adjust. You got answers to make when you come home, and you have to keep the lights on and put food on the table.
Exactly.
That was the whole.
When you said you converted, someone from the Jamaat gave you a shahada, right? And then you joined the Jamaat, right? Like, so like was there like a bayat you took, or was there some kind of selling point that said, hey, join us because of XYZ, our sheikh is this, or like what made you actually say, I want to be a part of this?
I mean, a little bit right after, they told me about El Sheikh Said Mubarak Ali Shah Jani, but I mean, that wasn't my focus. My focus was to save my soul. That at that moment, I can't say, yeah, I'm going with him. I don't know, if you introduce me to somebody, I gotta fill out their character. Maybe the chemistry is not there. Maybe, I don't. He may want people that want to be muhaddith. I don't have that time to be a muhaddith. I don't know. His specialty was spirituality. They say tariqah and all that, but everybody knows you cannot practice tariqah without sharia. This is the biggest problem. They have no sharia, and they decide not to practice sharia. So now you got kukula ibad and kukula. So nobody gets their rights. But yet you want to go to the masjid and read the juz and then do istikhara and all this and make dua and all, and then you take somebody's rights away. Then you tell them they can't be. This is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. You know, but I ignored some things until it got so extreme that I had to leave.
So what did and so you became Muslim. Someone gave you an shahada to save your soul, you said, but I mean, what did they tell you about Jilani, like as far as, you know, who he was, and some of the things that, I mean, I'm sure you probably know now, but at any point did they explain these things to you and you thought, okay, that sounds wonderful, okay, that sounds like Islam, or did you raise your eyebrows and think, all right, this is a little off, but you know what I mean, I'm new, so I'm gonna roll with it? Or what was your thoughts?
I just said I'm gonna roll with it, but it wasn't like something like, it was a purpose. So anytime you present something to somebody at a young age, graduating college and everything, and you say there's a purpose with this, and the purpose is going to be at a big magnitude, it's bigger than you're gonna roll with it, you know, especially it's for the greater good. So at that time, he bought, from what I was told, he bought the land with his own personal money, the New York land, Islamberg. They didn't pay him back for that land to this very day, from what I understand. I don't know currently. And he taught them.
He definitely didn't spend anything on TMW of his own money. That's all. That's a false.
Hey, this is what I'm.
Yeah, I know. Right.
Now, this is what the facts that was given to me. Now, if this is not true, this is not true. Then this is crazy. Yeah. You know, from what I was told, he spent his own money and bought Islamberg with his own money, and told the people at the very first migration to come there and make hijrah, get away from the dunya, get away from the Darul Kufa, and raise your children on that land. Now that was always a fact to me. Now if it's not a fact, it's not a fact. That's even that makes this whole thing even like. And now I question it. I talked to a brother last week, and there was some things that's been questioned. When I know Amra since he was like, and he was in Appomattox.
Oh yeah,
so the brother told me his Umi was overseas and she was with the Sheikh, and he told her to copy and paste books that he didn't even write. Me and this brother didn't even know that, and this brother he's the bridge between the elders and the youth right now. This brother, I don't want to mention his name. He's been around since he's been here way before me. You know what I'm saying? He knows, you can say he knows everybody in all the locations on the East Coast. And he knows the people that came from Cali to Virginia. And me and him was talking, because I was telling him about I was going to come on the show, and he was like, he's kind of like, he didn't want to do it, whatever, but that's his personal thing. Yeah. But I'm not gonna get into that. I'm just gonna get into the facts that him and I did not know there was a lady overseas, and we know the son since I'm looking at him now. He's like a grown man now. He didn't even have a mustache. And she was over there at the time, and she took this book and took that and took excerpt from this book, and then it was copy and paste and everything. He said, take this person's name, I'll take that author. She said, this is plagiarism, and he put his name in it. This is great. That's crazy.
Yeah. There's no copyrights on Islamic knowledge. That's what he told you.
And I read Baba Mushtada. I read Futiha Muhammadiyah. Futu Guide was the first book I read when I became Muslim. And Futu Guide is definitely not, I knew he wasn't the author of that book.
Yeah. When you read Futuhat Muhammadiyah, was there anything in there that you were like, this doesn't sound right? Because in that book he actually has a big section in there that's straight out of the Risala Ruhi, which is the source of the whole Seven Sultan belief.
Yeah, I didn't read the whole book. I didn't read it cover to cover. I read a couple of chapters. When I first became.
So let me ask you a question. I mean, so were you told that Jilani was the sixth sultan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and were you aware of what the sixth of this series of 7 sultans are, or do you just like, okay, wonderful? Or
Nah. He had to tell me like how you get 6 or how you get 7. You know, this basically said the mirror of me. Allah Ta'ala was he was admired by his own beauty, and Allah Ta'ala went around the mirror 7 times, and from that seven times, 7 sparks came from Allah Ta'ala. These 7 sparks are the 7 sultans.
Mm-hmm.
So
I haven't found that in Holy Quran to this very day, so I don't know.
Yeah, you won't find it. You won't find it. So this whole concept. So have you ever? And so I'm getting somewhere with this, but just humor me. So you have heard that he is the 7th sultan. Have you ever heard
No, he
him?
was
Oh, the 6th
6.
sultan. Yes.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard Jilani refer to himself as the 6th sultan, or?
No.
No, you haven't heard him
No.
because I was having a conversation with someone this week, and they were saying that they never heard Jilani refer to himself as the 6th sultan, but they were sure that the whole concept, the aqidah of the 7th sultan thing was pure shirk. They were sure of that it was shirk, but they distanced Jilani from this and saying they never saw him say that he was the 6th sultan. But people are telling me to get my sultan numbers in order. It's hard to keep the numbers because I mean there's many
Keep on changing. Yep.
There's at least there's probably at least 100 people claiming to be the 6th sultan, maybe more than that claiming to be the 7th. But so my thing is that the issue that I find nowadays is that people are aware. They're sure, especially the old heads, the older people, they know that the 7 sultans, when it's explained to them and they understand it, that it is shirk. But then they distance Jilani from it and say people called him the 6th sultan, but I never heard him say I'm the 6th sultan, so he's free from it. So is that your stance? Do you feel like Jilani is free? Because I think you would agree, and I'll just ask you, I won't put words in your mouth, but do you believe that the aqidah, the belief in the 7 sultans, is from Islam in any way, or is it shirk?
Not from Islam. It's not part of the aqidah. You know, the aqidah is simple. This is you gotta believe in Allah, His last angel, the angels, the books, and all that. The 6th, 7th, that's not in there. The MOA claims that's tariqah. This is the secrets of Allah Ta'ala. These are things that you cannot find in Holy Quran. These are things that are built on the basis of riyada. This is built on zikr. This comes through the walis. This information is marafah. So marafah is like uncreated knowledge, you know. But sometimes I leave that alone. You know, that ain't up for discussion.
Yeah. Well, one of the things is, just to touch on this for anybody else who's listening, that is because we've heard it a few times, and I know that Jilani has said it in one of his lectures himself, that I am the 6th. I think, paraphrasing a little bit, but how he said it is how he usually says things. And yes, this humble servant is the 6th, something like that. He also, not only did he claim it, he also teaches the belief, which doesn't even matter whether he claims to be one or not. Teaching shirk is just, the same thing. And everybody acknowledges that he is the author of the world famous poem, Darud Salam, that everybody sings after Juma. And at the end, they name the 6 sultans, and he's one of the 6th. And if he's the one that wrote the whole poem, he claims it right there in writing. So people try to separate Jilani from a lot of things, but when you do the actual research on it, it's very clear that he's the direct source of a lot of different things that go on. But I just wanted to clear it up for anybody that's listening, and I will eventually get the source in his lectures, and we'll post the video of him claiming that he's the 6th sultan and all that. But also, so you mentioned how your wife, and I don't know if you want to say her name or not, and you said there was some infidelities.
Jaffer, I'm sorry. Let me just say this real quick, just to kind of put this in a nutshell, so that people are not left suspended. So that for those watching, or those people who might be, you know, the apologists and the defenders or whatever and who have distanced Jelani from, oh well, we never heard or saw him say, and probably when we post the video they'll say it's doctored or that came from you, whatever. They're going to make a bunch of excuses. But right now there are people running around in TMOA and other places. There's other people who claim sultans. But as far as this was taught, as Jafar says, and it was taught to Noor right now, saying she's the mother of the seventh sultan, and you know, the mother of the seventh sultan. Okay, so this was taught to her. Who do you think taught her this? So we know it's shirk. The people are agreeing that it's shirk, but they're trying to distance Jelani from it. Right now, today, in the community, there are people claiming to have the seventh. He was the sixth. Now they have the seventh, and the seventh's mother is running around the country right now. So ask yourself, who taught her that? And that clearly, I think we know the answer. Jelani taught her that. And if that's the case, then it's shirk, and he's responsible for that. Those who engage in shirk and act upon it and surely teach it will have to deal with Allah. We know what Allah says about shirk and what the recompense is for that. So go ahead with your question, John.
Yeah. So and you don't have to mention your ex-wife's name or not, and we don't want to get into like accusations of infidelity, but we can say just maybe wrong things were happening. But what happened exactly with the circumstances surrounding your divorce and your like decision to separate yourself from TMOA?
I mean, basically just the whole lot. So you got, I'm here, I'm the muscle behind this mission, quote unquote. So the money, you need money to go overseas, you need money to keep yourself going and everything. So I'm sending money, whatever. My children are separated, they living in different homes. There's a lot of stress. So they're overseas supposedly to be doing this. But when you go to Alice Hall, from what I was told during that time, they're gonna test you. You got to take an interest exam, you know. Mm-hmm. So you have to know how to write Arabic without the nuktas. You have to know the translation of Holy Quran, you know, and you have to know Asbabul Nuzul of Holy Quran. So at that time, the community wasn't even. They barely knew Ali's Batel. I'm not trying to be disrespectful anyway, but you didn't have nobody we didn't even have a Hafiz in the community like that. Hafiz Issa was gone. I mean, he's, you know, so you had the brother Hafiz Abdul Fattah. He was on here a couple of weeks ago. He came to the community long time. I remember when he first came to teach Quran. And we weren't even doing Taraweeh with a Hafiz. We were still doing the last 10 surahs for Taraweeh. There's not too many communities, if any community, that does that. They do with a Hafiz for the month of Ramadan, a Jews a day, whatever. But the community was so young, they still didn't know. So when he came, he's a Hafiz of Quran. So when you go to Alice Hall, from what I was told, you got to know this. And the group that went over there, they didn't know none of that. So I was saying, like, they got to come back and either go to an online school and then get their jazzy at that point, then go back to Alice Hall and then regroup and do the thing. But, you know, people are not listening. Like, Allah Ta'ala says, Yatafakkarun. Like, you just don't run and do crazy stuff. You got to think. You got to use your mind. You know, common sense is not common these days. So It keeps going and keep going and keep going. And like I said, this brother, he's overseas with her and they kind of like mingling, whatever. I'm hearing you know how you hear stuff from third people and it's not good. Like, this is not making sense.
Well, one thing that I know that was happening over there,
and they eventually got married. So,
well, yeah. So like one thing that happened, I know that was over there, is that to save money, you had men and women that were not mahram to each other actually living together in the same house. So that's kind of like the backdrop. We're not going to insinuate like anything happened. Inshallah, no serious things happens, but you see the result of what happens when you have men and women.
That's what if I'm not mistaken, that's what was being
we see the end result.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it, and we even talked about it earlier on another show when we're talking about, you know, as far as men-women relations, we talked about the abuse of what his name's the Fatih guy or whatever. several weeks back. I mean, this is another example.
So if I can, just so that we don't leave anything unclear, so what you was brother, you were saying that as far as the situation surrounding the cooler, okay, you had your children were elsewhere, you're sending money overseas, and then I was a little confused about the points you were making after that. So if you could,
just basically like you trying to send money overseas to support this, like it was kept being told to me that's not enough, that's not enough, that's not enough. Come to find out, there were some people who didn't have no financial backings going over there to Egypt. They went over there with nothing. They went over there with nothing. They didn't have nothing. They had nobody sending them money for nothing. So they're gonna live off of somebody who somebody's sending them money to. Now we stretching whatever budget this person has amongst 4 or 5 people. It can't be. That's just crazy. This ain't
It sounds like
a
you were.
slam.
Yeah, it sounds like you're supporting some other grown ass men, or excuse my language, some grown men.
It was like that in it was like that in Pakistan, because like I said, the person I was married to, they was going back and forth to Pakistan, and the brother I talked to a couple of weeks ago, his wife was back and forth to Pakistan. It was so many times he had to take his tax refund, send that over. So many times he had to do this, do that. He couldn't upgrade his lifestyle or anything. This is not Islam. You don't have to be poor to be religious.
So let me just recap a little bit. So you send your wife overseas to seek Islamic knowledge, and you're supporting her to the best of your ability, sending her money, and they're saying it's not enough, and you're still doing what you can to support your wife while she's over there learning. They're going back and forth, back and forth. They're actually living in quarters and intermingling inappropriately Islamically. We'll just say that. And then you get to the point where I guess she asked for a kula. She wanted a divorce. And so tell us what happened through that process as far as the kula. How was it handled by
that process was just like who sits back and does that? Like that was wild, because that was just a deliberate blow. There was a caliph on the land, Carlton Dunstan. I was supposed to have a council.
Carlton Dunstan, as far as I'll just clarify for our audience, Carlton Dunstan is Khalifa Khalil, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And I was supposed to have two. Yeah, I was supposed to have 2 witnesses come to my aid and have a shorter. But before then, he underhanded me and called a brother behind my back and told him the same thing that we're gonna do to him, we're gonna do to you. So don't be his witness. This is like tampering. This is tampering with the witness. Like this is you're not facing a murder charge. you messed it up.
Yeah. So and we discussed this a little bit before, just so because you had mentioned that she asked for a kula, and then Mubarak Jalani had said for you to get your witnesses, because when you ask for, when there's a kula asked, you get typically get like a qadi involved, and the wife presents her case of Islamically why she wants a kula, and then the judge can grant a kula or not, right?
Right.
First she asked the husband. Like there's before a qadi's involved, she should go to the husband and say I want a kula, and the husband can say I could give it to you or not, whatever. So but right here we're talking about like typically what the qadi stage would be. So at this point, Sheikh Jelani is your qadi of your situation, right? He's saying get your witnesses, come, we'll have a case. And then Carl Dunstan or Khalifa Khalil
goes in the back door, tells his brother don't do it. I don't know nothing about it. Calls me up on the phone, and he says, this ain't gonna work, blah blah blah. I mean, what do you mean it's not gonna work? I have my 2 witnesses. I had an elder brother and I had another brother. He said, well, that brother told me he's not gonna do it. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm pretty much a stand-up guy. So if you're not gonna do it, you're just not gonna do it. You're gonna tell me directly. Well, what sense do you make to tell this other knucklehead that you ain't gonna do it? And then he tells me you ain't gonna do it. I'm either gonna approach both of you, I'm gonna approach one of you one at a time. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna call him. I called, he said, and he couldn't even tell me. Like he was just like his voice was shaking and everything. Like I knew this brother, man, like, but anyway, so he said, nah, he went along with that, gave me the runaround. So I said, all right, I'm not gonna force somebody to be with me. So It was that was it. That was a done deal. But to do
So that
that,
was a cool. After that, the cooler was just granted.
man,
Like there was no
I was like, man, they can do whatever they want. I was gone. Like to do that underhand and make pray next to me and all that, man.
So I just want.
That broke the camel's back. Like
Yeah.
even to this very day, this dude he hasn't called me. He cannot call me. He cannot look me dead in the face. It's like in another.
But I want to be clear on like, because even though that your ex-friend or the person that was going to be your witness and he bailed on you, whatever, but it sounds like to me, like from what you said, is that they actually threatened, like, we're going to divorce you from your wife too if you come and be this guy's witness. And so I understand like the side that you're on, because I've been on that side myself, but just for everybody listening, we have to understand that we're talking about spiritual abuse. We're talking about people that are indoctrinated into a cult. And so when you're talking to a man like, and someone comes and threatens them with a legit threat, because this is a legit threat that if you support this guy, you're going to lose your family. I don't agree with it, what he did, because I went down in flames with my friend. But I see why it is. But I want to know, how did the actual divorce take place? Did you grant the kula because you just gave up? Or did they say, oh, you didn't have witnesses, so Jelani said that she's divorced? Like what, how did the divorce actually happen?
Well, that was when he called and told me that. He told me that, but even though he told me that in that phone conversation, I was already done with the incident that happened. So I didn't even care. Like it was official at that phone conversation me and that brother had. But even though it was official that he said, yeah, she got the coolest done. Before he even said that, I was already like furious on what just took place. So it could have.
So just to be clear, Jelani, who's your Qadi in your case, granted your wife a kula without even hearing any testimony or case from you, the husband.
Right.
So
with that incident that happened, like I said, that incident broke the camel's back. And to this very day, I look at them like who could do that? Like you have to have some really you gotta have some serious guts to do that. That's like, to me, that's like some Jeffrey Dahmer type stuff.
Yeah,
So,
it's well, quite on.
So and there actually is a hadith, and even in the Quran, Allah talks about Dawood alayhi salam, in which two disputants. Basically, this is the thing: whenever two people come, or there's a claim made, it's incumbent upon the judge in the case to hear both sides. You must do it. This is against the Sunnah. This is against Islam. This is wrong. And a perfect guide should never make this mistake. But to try to give the benefit of the doubt in this case, there are some things that possibly could be so egregious or to a level in which there's no coming back for the woman, or perhaps he could have made a mistake in making the judgment and not talking to you because of the reason for why she asked for the kular. So what was the reason for her asking for a kular? I mean, did you commit some sort of crime? I mean,
I didn't commit no crime. I'm innocent. I was on the council. I was trying to be an upstanding Muslim. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. It was all lies.
Okay, so the thing is this. What I'm getting to is that perhaps, for instance, if you were seen on camera robbing a bank or killing a bunch of people or doing something, that Jelani could have said, okay, we see that your brother, he's been locked up or whatever, he's on the run or case YZ, and then she goes to him and asks for a kular because I don't want to be married to a person like that. Then perhaps I can see where it might make sense for them not to say, hey, I'm not going to talk to this brother. Just go ahead. You're free because this is this type of person. Now, what was the reason why she asked for a divorce?
From what they said, and which is a lie. That's why I'm on the platform.
She didn't ask you for a divorce?
No, it went to the sheikh.
So she never said to you, hey, honey, baby, whatever the case may be.
No.
So the first you heard about your wife wanting a divorce was from somebody else?
Yeah, of course. But the thing was, it was talked about that I had them living in the worst conditions. Like, this is crazy. Like, I had the biggest trailer on the land. I had 3 bedrooms. I was working in corrections. I was making decent money out there. Like, what are you talking about?
And she wasn't even living there.
If anybody's gonna live in bad conditions, I'm gonna be in bad conditions myself.
Right.
If you can't take care of wife, you sure enough can't take care of yourself.
So she, okay. So
and
I
we
was under
married
the.
for over. At that time, we was married almost close to 10 years. So 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 8 years. You've been living in this type of condition, and the 10th year, you want to say, "Oh yeah, you know what? I think it's time for me to get up out of here." Well, why you? I would have got up out there in 3 weeks. Not 10 years.
Okay,
That's
so
what. That's.
And didn't you mention that just to me you mentioned that, so like the case that she brought or they brought, which it seems like more that you had her in bad living conditions, but after you left, didn't
they in worse conditions? They in worse conditions currently than they was if I was there.
But didn't someone move right into your house after you left?
The brother moved in my $15,000 little trolley. He moved in there. So what kind of conditions was he living to move in a condition that I'm supposedly be in a deplorable condition? I wouldn't move in behind somebody else. Unless I made totally revamp the whole thing and all this so crazy. Like like I said, once the brother came and did the back door to me, I was done. But then I left for a year or so, and I'm hearing all this other craziness. Like, who does this? So this was all planned in the beginning. When a person does something to you, it was in them. It was in the seed was planted in them since day one. You know what I'm saying? I cannot be around nobody that's gonna pray next to me and do all this foolishness. And then you wake up in the morning, see me on the land, like, hey, Assalamu alaikum, Maki, how you doing? What? Are you crazy? they would not do this to a non-Muslim. They would not do this. The rules are totally different when you deal with these knuckleheads out here in these streets.
Facts.
And the dude that did it to me, he knows better. He comes from the dunya.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I want to, and I'm with you 100%. But here's the one thing that we got to address from the R2F standpoint is we try our best to associate the problem or the blame directly with who should be responsible for it. So, like, what responsibility do you hold to Mubarak Jelani, who's the one that was actually the overseer of your divorce? Because I'm telling you right now that this was not done without his permission or his guidance.
You're right. And the thing is, like, I try to be a man, and like I tell people, man, I tell the young guys, man, always be 10 toes down. So basically, the worst thing that I would say out of this whole thing is that I chose this foolishness. You know what I'm saying? I ignored the red flags. You know, I'm not gonna hold nobody accountable and point the finger. Yeah, he did this to me. Oh my God, this and that. I took it like a man, and I'm gonna continue to be a man. You know what I'm saying? These knuckleheads, why did they get on their own platform and say, you know, Lawrence Whiteley is this, Lawrence Whiteley is that, Lawrence Whiteley did this? They can't do that. You know, they're not gonna do that. You know, and we can have an open debate or and discuss this like men, but they're not gonna do that. You know, one brother, the brother that moved in my trailer, he called me like 4 or 5 years ago or whatever. Matter of fact, 2 years ago, my son, they took my son, put him in a shed, locked him up and all this old crazy, and say he was possessed and all this. I didn't hear from my children maybe about 3 years ago. I wasn't hearing about them for a long time. You know, now I'm hearing about this. And then the dude that's supposed to be a hafiz, I had my son for 1 year. He came up here to Indiana for 1 year. And I asked him, try to, get back to, time with him and everything. He explained to me his own words. Allah Ta'ala be my witness. This man handcuffed him to a bed and beat him, on the land. So you gonna tell me I have you living in crazy conditions for how many years, but yet this man been married to you for however years, obviously a shorter period of time, and he takes your own flesh and blood and beats him however he does, handcuffed to a bed. But I'm the guy that needs to be vanquished from a community, and he leads you in Juma, He leaves you a salon, and here we go again. Assalamu alaikum, my kid. How you doing? How you doing?
Well,
What do you mean how I'm doing? How you doing? What are you doing?
Apparently, this same guy can easily refute everything that you're saying, that R2F is saying, that everybody has been saying with easily the Quran and the Sunnah, but he refuses to actually do so, as everybody in TMOA does. But I really want to know what, because like I said, everybody has their different positions, and you have people that are, you know, the tip of the sword, the side of the sword, the handle of the sword. But what do you have to say about the person that's actually swinging the sword? Because the person who did this, the one that's in charge of all this, is Mubarak Jelani. And this is the thing that's holding people inside of TMOA. So what do you have to say to people that are like, okay, I'm staying in the community because Mubarak Jelani is teaching me such great Islam. He has guided us. He saved my family. All these different things that are being said about this man from our stance that has clearly taught shirk, has taught bid'ah, has brought people away from the Holy Quran and the Sunnah, and has been a part of abusing people for 4 decades. Because like your forced divorce is a long stream of forced divorces that's been happening for 4 decades. Like what happened to you, something similar happened to me, my brother, my friend. It's not anything new, to the point of when you say this, the old heads say that ain't nothing new. That's always been happening. So what is your position with Mubarak Jelani himself?
I mean, I have no gripe because the man is not here. You know, I'm not going to even go that far. It is what it is where we at now, and that's that. I'm not in that community like that, so I'm not going to say, you know, I can't. I ain't got that in my heart to say, you know, he's this, he's that. It happened. I didn't get. The problem was the medium between the administration and the people was always distorted. So he may have said X, Y, Z. They come back and say J K L M N O P. You know, but I ain't trust me, I'm not bitter. I'm bitter because I don't know who does that and be so low and does things like that and then hides behind a religion. That's like
cult leaders.
I mean, did you want to come on today to kind of just you know, vent about Hassan Ali, or did you know? I mean, I'm a little bit confused, brother. I mean, we all know who this person is. That's number one.
Yeah, we already know he knows. So I mean,
number one.
Wait. Hassan Ali. His name is Hassan Ali.
Hassan.
Assalamu alaikum, Hassan Ali.
Yeah, come on and refute that.
Please do. We're welcome any guests.
Refute everything by Quran and Sunnah.
Where is he at? He's in. Let me see.
No, he's he'll watch it. He's gonna watch it.
But me and him already met face to face. You know, he came up here to Indiana with her to pick up my son, and then he had some words, and he didn't even look at me. And I said, "Yo, what's going on with this, that, and the third?" And he said, "You know, it wasn't like that, yada yada." So I approached him. You know, this is when COVID-19 was at. This is when lockdown. It was, and so when I approached him, he ran in the elevator. You know, it was. Look, I had no problems with that.
Well, I want to.
Okay, let's try to boil this down, because I feel like, you know, really, we, to be honest with you, we really want to get to the bottom of opening people's eyes to the problems with the things that Jelani himself is teaching and the beliefs of TMOA. But I get the feeling, because you don't necessarily want to address Jelani directly, and some people have that issue. They say he's dead, he's gone, whatever the case may be. I think that's a mistake, but we'll put that aside for now, and we'll give some time for what it seems like you want to get to the bottom of anyway. So I have some questions about this whole divorce, and then another man moving into your trailer and stuff. When your wife asked for the divorce, was she in Egypt or was she in Virginia, or where were they?
In the United States, yeah.
In the United States. And you were in the United States too. Where were you living when she asked for the divorce? Were you living in the trailer?
Yeah, I was staying in the trailer.
So she asked for the divorce, got it, then you moved out?
Yep.
You kicked out, or did you like leave by yourself?
I got kicked out, man. These people was like,
okay.
I needed my freedom. You know,
Well,
I needed my freedom. So I think the best move for me was to leave because it would have been.
I want to add some context to this story that you may already know, or not, because of who I'm connected to with certain people. Was family members with people that were in administration, and just for everybody knows this. They're part of TMOA. The people that tell all the information and people's secret business are the actual administrators. Like they come home and say, "Hey, guess what case we just listened to?" And then they tell their brother and their brother-in-law, sister-in-law, cousin, and then it gets spread out to the community. Everybody's like, "How's my business out there?" Well, because the people you told everybody.
It's so like patient confidentiality. So.
Yeah, exactly. So just some context. We already talked about, so the sister's name is Sophia. Assalamu alaikum, Sophia. Assalamu alaikum, Hassan Ali. They were part of a group that went to Pakistan, and this is part of the group that's referred to as the Azhar scholars. And these scholars were over there, supposedly attending Azhar. But to attend Azhar, just like any college, you have to pass what is called a GED, a general equivalency, whatever. They had to show that they had the basic education of a Muslim that graduated high school, pretty much, which means you know how to read and speak Arabic, you know, basic Quran and certain things like that, right? This is the schools that they went to get admitted into Azhar, right? But while they're over there, they're struggling financially, different things are coming up. So they all moved into a house together in one apartment, men and women sharing facilities, going out to eat. Like the sister was buying the brother birthday presents, different types of things like this, right? So in the administration eyes, because Hassan Ali is somebody that, you know, he's learned before he went over there, he was always referred to as the Hafiz because he had like half the Quran memorized. It was a better matchup for them to have these two people that are attending Azhar as Jamaat scholars to be together. So what happens is, we just heard the story about how they forced a divorce, right? Didn't go about it the right way. You say, oh, get your witnesses. When he gets his witnesses, the administration goes and says, you better not be a witness or I'm going to divorce your wife from you too. This is all coming down from the top of Sheikh Jelani. And if it's not, go ahead and publicly say it didn't. Say it, you did something that Sheikh Jelani didn't command. They forced a divorce, kicked the brother out the land, move his ex-wife's brother into his house, or they move the brother into the house, takes the house over, right? Now the sister's in debt. Now here's another part of the story. There's other brothers, while she was divorced, because they had to wait some time for public appearances before they hitched her to Hassan Ali. She actually got interested in somebody else. But when they were actually talking about getting married, the administration intervened and said, basically, you cannot marry this individual. You have to marry Hassan Ali. So now in this situation, you have improprieties facilitated and known about by the administration, the top in Egypt, people intermingling, a forced divorce, a forced breakup of people that are genuinely interested in getting married, and now a forced marriage. Like, and this is, if anybody's watching and you're like, this is sounding crazy, this is what happens in cults. And then people just go about their day like this is normal business. This is not normal, people. And I know the brother doesn't want to, and Nadim doesn't want to mention anything about Jelani because he's passed and people take that. That's a good to take the safe route. But we can say that whoever is in charge of people that are doing these things is, one, either evil, or two, incompetent. You pick.
Ignorant of the religion, complete jahil, gotta be. And the thing is, the punishment for the person making rulings on Islamic matters without knowledge is a severe one. So a person cannot say, oh, I'm going to judge, and they don't have any clue on how to go about giving Islamic rulings. You're giving fatwa, you're giving divorces and things, and you don't know what you're doing. Allah's going to punish that person for doing that. So, and this is, we can try to blame the Khalifa Khalil or Hassan Ali, all these people. All these people are just mere pieces that are moved around, but the blame falls on the one who can make the decision to yay or nay in one moment, and everybody's gonna fall in. If Jelani said you two are gonna stay together, y'all probably would still be together today, and the brother wouldn't be up in your trailer and chilling and you know what I mean, hanging out. But that wasn't the case, and it really falls down to him. None of these people are going to be making any of these moves and decisions if Jelani doesn't want to. And if he was the person who was supposed to rule on your case, he did not go through the proper channels. And to be honest, we haven't. I have no. I have not spoken to the lady or anything, so we'll just take it on the information that we have. But if what you say and what they say is the case, then he was definitely wrong in the way they went about granting the divorce. It seems like that you did not, well, at least initially, release her. So yeah, he definitely was wrong. But so if we can move a little bit further, so you went ahead and left, and they moved into your house and eventually lived happily ever after. But so is the reason why you are not in TMOA because of the way your marriage went down and was dissolved and broken apart, or is it because of your understanding of Al-Islam? I mean, that's an honest question, because to be honest with you, I haven't heard anything as far as you kind of have I don't want to say defended Jelani, but you have sidestepped it, and you haven't really addressed the fact that he's leading people or saying things that are incorrect according to our understanding. So perhaps that's not your understanding. Perhaps what you've learned from him or heard him say or whatever is all Quran and Sunnah, and it's on the haqq. So if that's the case, you can make it plain. But I'm a little confused as far as to whether or not you would still be in TMOA if you were still married to someone in TMOA.
That's impossible. I wouldn't be in MOA. Like, you gotta. I mean, I'm an independent thinker, so like when I see foolishness, I gotta get away from it. Plus, I was born in Harlem, raised in Brooklyn, so like you have more. I'm not saying you have more sakeen, but you have different type of sakeen with people from these type of areas than supposedly quote unquote people on the land and this and that, with those differences, because it gets handled totally different. There's no sharia in those places. There's no piety. How you say you pious and you doing foolishness like this? Why would I even want to be in that type of situation with these people doing underhanded stuff like that? I mean, just to me. I mean, I'm not even saying, we're not even gonna go with this person, that person, this person. Nah, there's nothing to go back to. There's nothing for me. There's nothing. There's no school there. There's no Dow program. There's no online classes. My teacher, he's a Qadi. He knows Normal Ali Khan personally. I see Normal Ali Khan, his books on the shelves at Amazon. I'm an employee at Amazon. So like I see bigger things. So I'm off to somewhere else. There's no way I'm gonna come back and say I have the MOA badge. I'm back. No, my thing is not even to be on top of people. A lot of those people want to be in charge of other people. They don't have no. They not holding the rings on their own life. Their lives is probably all discombobulated.
Well, so it's interesting that in your story there's a lot of things that come up, and the one thing that you just reminded me of is, and Mubarak probably knows better, but the hadith where Islam came to preserve certain things, and I think it's like 5 things, like your property, your religion, your
So the first thing is your religion, your intellect, okay, your wealth, your lineage, and there's another one that's escaping me right now, but your deen, your wealth, your lineage, it's getting away from me. I can't.
The ones that are like, so if you're talking about a Muslim community, like you would think that you would at least have the protection of those things that Islam brings. And you look here, the brothers you know, his lineage, his family stolen from him, his property, his home's taken from him, you know, his safety, like he's kicked out off the land. Like who knows if he had backup and had a place to go. Like it's just people keep using this whole TMOA as like we're a Muslim community and this and that, but all your rights that you're supposed to get as just being a Muslim, none of them are upheld of why you're actually in that community. And I just wanted to mention that, brother. We appreciate you coming on the show. We're going to give you a couple minutes to kind of just like a final message that you want the listeners to hear. And then I just want to say thank you, alhamdulillah, for coming on and sharing your story with us.
Yeah, I appreciate you, alhamdulillah. So, yeah. But the only thing I have to say is like I want to put this in closing. When that happened, like I said, that underhanded what that brother did, and that same brother said that, you know, I can't do this, I can't basically rock with you no more. When he said that, when he did that, it came to his front door. They did the same thing to him, but worse. This is the Holy Quran. If you don't stop the evil with your hand or your tongue, it's coming to your front door. Yep. It's coming. How you gonna sit there? You hide and you close. Oh, man, and then you know how you do it. You know how, not you, but you know how people do it at the workplace. This one, he airs out these knucklehead, the supervisors, they doing crazy stuff, and he airs them out. He may get suspended, rolled up, and all that. And then the other knucklehead, he kisses the supervisor's boot. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what's going on. They're gonna do him worse. Yep. They're gonna do him worse. It's just a matter of time, you know. So when that underhanded happened to me, they did that brother worse. They did him worse. You know, and me and him, we rekindled and everything, and I wasn't talking to him for like a long time, you know. He reached out to me a couple of times, and I just ignored him. But, you know, it made our bond stronger. But when you see stuff like that happening, man, at least try to help your neighbor, you know, and observe that, man. At least speak out against it or try to get them into safety. We got people, you know, our way is no way like the non-Muslim way. But now you can't even make a difference but the garb. The way stuff is going on in the communities and what's going on in the dunyas and stuff like that, you got drugs in the Muslim community. You got whatever out there, and it's baffling and confusing. So if you can't stop it with your hand, just don't hate in your heart. At least speak out against it. And if everybody does that, man, we probably get somewhere.
Alhamdulillah. Oh, thank you, brother. We appreciate you. We'll stay in contact, and, you know, let us know if you need anything. Again, everybody, this is Brother Nadim sharing his information with us. And again, appreciate me. Allah bless you. May Allah guide you. May Allah, you know, bring you back together with your kids so that they can be properly guided and away from the falsehood of all that other crap that your other side of the family is bringing them upon. So, shukran. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. That was refreshing. Let's before we actually move on to the mailbag and stuff, I just would like to say regarding the situation with the brother, and that not necessarily him specifically, but it's a cautionary tale, really mainly for the interactions, like we dealt with last week, the interactions between or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, interaction between non-mahram, mahram and non-mahram, and how you have to be careful, and not to saying that is the reason for you know, the breakup and then remarriage and all that stuff, but we would be naive to think that it wasn't a factor when you're living in close quarters and with people that are non-mahram. And the interactions. So we have to be careful in how we're dealing with the opposite gender. Even for married people, sometimes people think, oh, they're married, so you know what I mean, they're not gonna, that fitna is not gonna get them. But the thing is, especially if there's anything, and if you're married, you're gonna have issues within your marriage and things, and sometimes if you see another person and you're dealing with another person closely, an intimate situation, close quarters, and then, you know, they start, looking like a better option. You start looking for other options. So we should just be always be careful, you know, protect our family members, protect ourselves, And for the men, we should be diligent in helping our wives to remember that if there's a situation like that where they're a little bit too comfortable, too close, to or in dealing with other men, and the wives also should be there to do the same thing for their husbands, even though husbands can marry more than one wife. There is a right way to go about it. It's not a matter where you can just be chatting somebody up or hanging out in close quarters or whatever the case may be. That's not allowed. So let's be mindful of these things and don't let your guard down. For the person who thinks I would never be the type of person who would try to creep in on another man's wife, that doesn't mean that you can break the rules and go outside of the boundaries in which Allah has set for us. But I'll leave it there. Let's just be mindful of these things.
And just to support what you said, we talked about the instance with FITRAH or something, whatever his name was, where they're letting their daughters study under him. We just had the situation with Sultan, and he was hanging around his cousin, and then he wants to marry her. Like we have to be careful of that, and it's especially us growing up in the West. Like we have a different mindset. We have to reset certain things. But right into that, we'll go right into the mailbag, and we have some pics that were sent, and this kind of relates into actual purdah, hijab, making sure that you're protecting our ladies. So let's see. I'll share. I don't know what. Let's see. I have a series of pictures. Let's see if I can share it here. Hold on. Share my screen. Let's do it. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Okay, wait, let's go over here. Okay. All right, we're going to share this screen right here. All right, can y'all see a guy that's swimming? Let me know.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Here we go. So here's the first pic, and I don't know. Is that Wonder Woman?
No idea.
I don't know. Wow, I don't know why I had that. I don't know, but as you see the purdah, trying to be okay. Maybe that's what that's about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we have another one.
Here's the
very modest. Well, here's another one. I don't know where this is going. Here's another one. There's no sense in covering the face. You got the hair all out. Let's see. We got what is
these wedding get-ups or
okay. Look at that. Looks official. Look at him.
Whoa. Wait. Okay, she's looking it looks like kind of like a little Native American type theme, right? The little headdress and.
She's possibly with child. It looks like.
Okay. We got another one. Oh, this one's got some big shots in this one.
Look at that.
See, and this is exactly what we're talking about. Look at all the men around this lady.
Oh,
that is not appropriate.
That must be no. Don't jump to conclusions, Jafar. I gotta check you on this one. We don't mind being checked. I gotta check you on this one. This is Noor with the purdah, and this is her son. Right? This is her stepson. Okay, and this is her brother. So it's all good.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that she was that tall though. Wow, she's pretty. She's taller than I thought.
Definitely a dude. Come on, stop.
Wait,
and these hands these are some pretty strong hands. In Pakistan, Pakistan, she's been in Pakistan for a while, so she's developed some very strong looking hands. But hey,
this is a dude. This is a dude.
Honestly, that's a dude. Look at this.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Come on,
wait a minute. Hold on. Wait.
Come on, zoom in. Yeah. Look at that.
No. That's that. Yo. I mean,
when are they gonna let go of this? You are African American. I get you like the Pakistani style, but y'all gotta draw a line somewhere.
Nah, fam.
What are y'all doing? I mean, this guy gets it. Look, he gets it. He's on our team right now. Look, he's like, man, look at his.
Look at
this dude.
Got on a niqab.
Man.
A bedazzled niqab. a chandelier.
A chandelier.
And this guy was a dude too. This is a dude too.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
like that's the groom. Okay, like, but like
I mean,
to be fair to him though, like this dude right here, he is stripped out. Like he has the whole turban, he has the shoes. Like he's about to like kill this wedding. He's about to go there. Like, listen, my wife's about to know I'm that dude, bro. All right, I am him.
Gosh. They gotta get an identity, man. I gotta get an identity.
Whatever.
Okay, what else do we got?
Hit our line.
What else do we have in this mail bag? Okay, so we also, I think we got another one. Maybe this is where the motivation came from. I think this is where the motivation
about
came
to get
from.
shot, bro.
No, man.
The 9th Sultan from Texas.
Yeehaw, cowboy. Yeah.
Yo,
I got a 6-shooter.
Yo, they're gonna get us, man.
We're getting
we
shot.
way too much. We gotta.
Oh man. Oh gosh.
All
right. So we also have.
I thought that was Noor, man. I would. The brother had me fooled. I thought he was kind of tall, man, but I didn't remember her being that tall. Back in the day. But
Okay, we have following our Sheikha's lead in making a difference. All of the teams from the ladies soccer tournament will donate $500 each to IQOU College.
Look at that, ICDC College. Now it's a strong one. My bad.
Wait, I got to translate this first for everybody to understand. I got to translate it. Okay, so following our Sheikha's lead in making a difference, all the teams from the latest soccer tournament that was just held to raise money for our Sheikha will donate $500 to the fake college of our Sheikha.
Okay, wait. These are TMOA like soccer teams, and they're gonna like give their own money. Aside from playing the tournament, which is all going to the same person, they're gonna also give their own money for Noor. Listen, Rush.
First of all, let's break this down a little bit further. The Jones says, following our Sheikha's lead. Okay, so
she donated $500.
So she donated.
No.
All right. Maybe she did. Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, she's following their lead in what I'm not sure what she's leading them in.
Maybe,
but actually, she is the leader of the community. She's leading all the children, all the young girls, all the women, and all the men in the community.
So
even the ones with Purda.
Okay, yes, even the ones in niqab. The women don't wear niqab, but the men do. La ilaha illallah. But it says making a difference. Okay, making a difference in what exactly? I'm not sure. But all the teams from the ladies soccer tournament will donate $500 to IQOU. Now, I do believe that I am the only IQOU graduate. Wow. I graduated from IQOU. I'm declaring that I have a degree from IQOU. I spent 30 years, actually maybe more than that, on the campus of IQOU, and I am claiming to have a.
You might as well be the dean.
First of all, I'm about to say, I was there as well. I know what Mark's talking about. I was there with him later on. How do you know? I have a doctorate from there.
No,
doctorate. Oh,
I couldn't even finish because some of these messages that keep popping up on the side are literally taking me out, man.
Oh my goodness,
I can't.
All right. So, but just they had a soccer tournament. They had a soccer tournament to raise money for. I think they remember that used to be called Lighthouse Academy. Remember the first ever Muslim secular. So they changed the name back to IQOU, most likely because we keep saying that IQO doesn't exist. So they're gonna try to make it exist. In hindsight, I guess.
But did Noor do the video though off of YouTube about her Lighthouse Academy school and her son being stupid or something like that? Hold on.
So and hold up. So before they try to say that they're raising this money to start IQOU college, I know for sure since I was a kid, it was alleged that IQOU had campuses everywhere. I mean, so first, y'all soccer playing ladies, which that's wild. I never seen any men barely play soccer in TMOA when I was there, but now the ladies are playing soccer. I think that's wonderful because my kids play soccer and stuff now, so it's great. But he never had no soccer tournaments until now. But what I do want to know is what exactly is this difference that's being made for a campus, for a college that allegedly has been running for the last 40 years. Yeah. So are you donating that to like, I don't know, to what is it going towards? I would really like to know. Yeah. I'm going to answer that. I'm going to go ahead and answer that. Not even going to leave it open. There is no college. It's not even a real university. It's nothing. There's nothing there. And I doubt that there will ever be anything there. So those people who donated your money, don't put your hopes in a return on your investment.
But this is piece of bill of law. What you mean?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because like it's good that they're doing stuff for the youth, and having these programs for them, especially for the females, because they really have a lack of opportunity inside the TMOA community. But I mean, it's just my opinion, but that money should go back to developing more programs for them, not to some fake university that no one is. Oh, I know. Yeah, we need gas money. We need to pay the bills.
Are there not schools on some of these lands that could definitely use, like actual schools with actual children going to at least trying to attend them? Like donate that $500 each to like heat the building, or pay a teacher or something like that. I mean, you're trying to build. You're donating money for a college that doesn't exist, has never even had one student graduate, never. But you have actual schools like K through 12 or whatever, at least grade schools, middle schools or whatever, that actually have some students trying to go. How about you raise money for that? Because you don't have a single college student in IQOU, not a single one. There's not even any faculty. There's no staff. There's no students. There's no. I mean, there's a dean, and that's it.
There's one faculty, billing department, billing and collections.
Are you gonna take this school? You know what?
We got an accounts receivable department.
Yeah. Please stop by at the earliest convenience.
All right, let's see. We got our favorite. We got our favorite coming back to make another appearance. AP. With a nice picture of the Sheikh when he was alive. May Allah forgive him for his transgressions. But here's a quote that he just can't stay away from the shirk. He just can't.
I mean, this man is a shirk machine. That's it. He's a shirk machine. If anyone who can't see this, it says in the caption, and I hope maybe his phone got hacked. Maybe someone is mocking him. I mean, this joint says, "My purpose in life is whatever you want from me." So, I mean, if we can get serious for a second, because this really is a very, very serious thing. He said, this is more serious than him making sujood to the grave, because we don't know. Maybe he fell. You know what I mean? Maybe he slipped down or whatever, and they happened to take the picture at that exact moment. We don't really know. But that somehow you can make an excuse for what his beliefs and his understanding, his intentions were. But there's no excuse for this. If he has wrote this and wrote out, "My purpose in life is whatever you want from me," that is 100% the opposite of what Allah says. I will give you one ayah. What does Allah say in Surah Al-Dhariyat? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون. Allah says He didn't create the jinn or mankind except to worship Him. That's the purpose. That is your purpose. Your purpose is not for doing whatever some man, a Pakistani dude, wants you to do. This is 100% outside of the belief that a Muslim should have. If truly you wrote this and you believe your purpose is to do whatever he asks you to do, that is outside of Islam, go ahead, take your shahada, a'udhu billahi min shaitanir rajim, say, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. You might have to take a ghusl, come back into the fold of Islam and start anew. But this statement and believing it will take you outside, because he's just a dude. He's not, even this would even be to go. This would be hard for even someone to say. Put it this way, Rasulullah would have corrected the person if they would say something like this, because even when there's a hadith in which one of the Sahabas said something to the effect of, and I don't have it with me right now, but they said to the effect of, whatever Allah and His Messenger want. And Rasul corrected him and said, me and Allah are not on the same plane here. It is what Allah wants. I'm only here to direct you to Allah, basically. It's not the same. It's not Allah. When you say Quran and Sunnah, Allah and His Messenger, Rasulullah makes a clear distinction that Rasulullah is directing you to Allah. It's not about his desires. It is about, and even Allah says, even if a person tries to make this connection, what does Allah say? وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. And he doesn't speak from his own desires. So Rasulullah, as far as the religion is concerned, is not giving you anything about what he wants. It's never about what Rasulullah wants.
Yep.
It's about what Allah wants. So how can a person, a picture of another man, just Pakistani dude, and you're going to say your purpose in life, your whole, the meaning and the effort and everything in your life, the purpose, that's what the purpose is. Like, my purpose in life is whatever you want from me. Whatever, that means anything. I mean, this is shirk, my man. It's pure, 100% grade A, USDA certified shirk. And there's no way around this. You should take this, as we said before, it's almost like a broken record. Take this down, make another statement saying that your last status or whatever was shirk. Explain it to the people, apologize, say that you will make sure that you avoid shirk from here on out, and maybe you're scoffing at it. Maybe you're just rolling your eyes. Maybe you think, oh, what are these people talking about? But you are going to be held responsible for what you lead other people to. Someone who might look up to you might read this and think, oh, well, that's the proper understanding. That's what I should think and do and feel or whatever. I don't even know Allah, but this person here seems like a person that my whole purpose in life and whatever I want, whatever I do should be what this person wants, and follow that. If that person leads himself into shirk and kufr, you will get a share, an exact replica of whatever sins and punishment they get. You're going to get a share of it because you led them to it. So go ahead, AP, once again, Ahmed person, stop doing this, brother. Stop doing it.
And for the audience that's listening, like, this is right here, and I guess we have to thank AP for giving us this. This is exactly what spiritual abuse and cults do, right? If you take out, the you or the reference to his sheikh or his murshid or his leader or his imam, you take that reference out and you put in Allah or even Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is going to direct you just to Allah, just like Mubarak said. That's Islam. But what these people do is they take Allah out of where he's supposed to be and put in their sheikh, right? You make sajda to Allah. I'm going to make sajda to my sheikh. And it's done under the false pretense of, oh, I'm doing it for Allah. But no, you're doing it for your sheikh. Even this post, it's not even like, for instance, he's passed away. He cannot read this status. So now you're getting into also the minor shirk of showing off, right? Okay. You want people to believe that you're this dedicated follower, and word on the street is that because this is part of his bid to shoot his shot with Noor. That's another show. Hey, but this is exactly what the problem is, because you get stuck into this culture of replacing Allah with something other than Allah. And once you do that, you are not on the religion of Islam. You're doing something different. You're doing something totally away. And Jelani, and this is the goal, because Jelani said to his first followers, I came to bring a new religion. And if you look at what's happening, this is exactly what's happening. It's playing out right in front of our eyes. You know, it's really unfortunate. And like we laugh and joke, but you see when we get to this stuff, we're not playing around. This stuff is serious. Ahmed, we don't want you to do shirk. Go ahead, Ahmed.
And this isn't like the last thing where he's buying at the grave, right? Because that could be something that you just like don't know. And then he quoted Stuart Chase, some American dude, right? This isn't a quote from anyone. This is his own words. Like I looked it up. It's not like a quote on the internet. So like he himself thought that, typed it out, and then sent it online publicly. So, but and again, he's also part of the Shura Council or something. So like he's a religious leader in the Jamaat. So this is a reflection of who you are. Like your leadership, who you choose to represent you, that's important. So if he's out here doing this, then that's bad on you. Say okay, I disagree with him, but that is your leader though. Like you, in some way, shape, or form, he's elected to be the face of your franchise.
And that's a good point. That's an excellent point in that. So even if Ahmed Person is not gonna say, you know what, hey, I done stumbled up and did shirk not once but twice. And who knows more than that, but they literally have pointed it out for me. I mean, we don't need any thanks, but you should be saying, you know, thank you, brother, for trying to help me. You know, and if we are wrong in our assessment and understanding of what you're doing in these 2 episodes, and probably more than that, then by all means, the offer is extended to Hassan Ali, Ahmed Person, K2, Noor, whoever wants to come and say, you know, they're just, you know, railing on us or whatever. We'll anytime, any day, whatever the case may be. If we're wrong, we'll admit it, no problem. But you should be thanking us. But for the people who are followers or who see Ahmed as one of their leaders, surely you can understand. Some of you can understand what we're saying here. And we're pointing out that he's your leader and he's doing these type of things. So if he's not going to listen to us, perhaps he will listen to you. So for anyone who understands what we are saying here, contact Ahmed Person, say, hey, Ahmed, this, I believe, I agree with these brothers. You don't have to agree with everything, but what they're pointing out, we believe that it is shirk. And you need to correct your action. We don't want any part of that. I mean, you can, you know, feel however you want to feel about TMOA, but I think it's clear what we pointed out is shirk. Yeah. You should contact him and put the pressure on him, just like people say, you know, contact your congressman, call your senator, write your mayor, whatever the case may be. Get on his backside, all you people in TMOA who are listening or following him as your leader, and say, hey, Ahmed, this is shirk. You need to correct it because this is not right.
So you mentioned K2, Hussein Adams. So we have someone sent us a throwback video of him, so we're going to share that real quick. We'll get a little reaction off of it.
A PowerPoint slide, yes, sir. All right, Jaffer, you got it.
And he's manifesting it here for Aussie, Muslim and non-Muslim.
I'm so confused.
I think they just want us to hear the who.
At the end. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but
he was saying the greatest. He was saying it was the greatest miracle of all time.
Oh,
yeah.
That miracle of 9 hours.
But yeah, so yeah, that's one of the greatest miracles of all time, John.
Yeah. You know, all right.
Go ahead.
We have another video. It's a short one, and we can just talk about the content when it comes up. Let's see here. Hold on. Maximize it. We'll share screen again. And if there's any questions, please type them in the chat. We have Hassan Ali or someone acting like Hassan Ali on the YouTube chat, trying to battle with Hanif.
Yeah.
Well, we invited him on the show. He won't respond. Hanif is challenging him to support his beliefs. He won't respond. Yeah, he didn't do Mubala. But I hear everybody listen to this. We have, alhamdulillah, we've been posting a lot of videos on our R2F YouTube channel. They're short clips of different scholars speaking about the same exact things that we're speaking about, because some people might not respect what we're saying because of who we are, whatever. But go listen to what the scholars say about these exact same topics, and maybe you could take some information from him. Here is one of them that speaks a lot about fake Sufi sheikhs and cults and how they take advantage of people.
That they take the statements of those Sufi guides over the statements of Al-Quran al-Kareem and the Hadith. An example of this is certain Sufi guides, not one. There are so many who do this, some of them in the open, some of them privately in their own circles, will make predictions every year. Some of them will say, for instance, when 2012 came, they said the Olympic Games, something will happen, go to work and stay at home and do not mix with people. And those people in the group then choose to not mix with the wider society. They become limited to their own group. This keeps them limited to their own group. But nothing came about, but they took the words of their sheikh so seriously that they, in some cases, the words of the sheikh will supersede the Quran and the Hadith. Example of this, every year we hear a Sufi guide mentioning the appearance of Al-Imam al-Mahdi radiyallahu anhu. The students of those Sufi guides will take the words of that Sufi guide so seriously that if you give them a hadith of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam which tells the actual signs of the appearance of Al-Imam al-Mahdi, they will choose to ignore the hadith. They will give more importance to the statements of their Sufi guide. This not only happens with regard to Armageddon and the end of times and the appearance of Al-Imam al-Mahdi, it also happens regarding dreams. Sometimes the dream of the Sufi guide is seen as so important that it will supersede common sense.
Mm. Okay. So
relate to any of our experiences.
all of it. The whole thing is
every last bit of it. It's amazing how it's almost as if this guy was in TMOA or watches our show, but this is an old video actually. But I mean it's an older video. Like I had seen it long before we started doing this show, but for the TMOA loyalists and Jelani apologists and stuff, I mean, how do they see things like this and think, okay, maybe we got. You know what I mean? You gotta at least think it. I mean, you gotta at least think it. Okay, maybe I got. Let me further investigate. But to literally see people that don't know you, don't know your sheikh, but they know exactly what these type of people do and what happens when literally predictions and all these type of things. I mean, it's the same stuff. It's the same playbook. You know what I mean? They run in the same plays and they working on people. Just like when Amber said, I form strong and I form tight.
If Derek can't read in the backfield, you got 8 in the box. It's like, run the ball still. You got this. 8 yards.
There's a great quote by Vince Lombardi, and they used to run the power sweep. And he's in the locker room. He's like, they know we're going to run it. I don't care if they know we're going to run it. We're going to keep on running it because they can't stop it.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing all day long.
Literally, might have 2 wide receivers in, but bring in 2 tight ends, bring in the jumbo package, but it's still going to be the same play.
Same play. Run the ball in the middle. I formation. In the pistol after that to throw them off. Still run the ball the same.
Yep. All right, we got one more video, and then we can kind of wrap it up. Remember, anybody if you have any questions, please post them in the chats.
I'm trying to scroll. I'm trying to wade through the YouTube comments. It's wild up in these comments, man. I don't know.
Hassan Ali going crazy, or he's trying his life away inside those comments, but it's not working. But he keeps trying.
I think, he's doing a lot of retracting too.
I wonder if that's really him or if that's you know what I mean.
I wish it was him. Yeah, I hope it's him.
You know, the funny thing about it is, I grew up you know, with Hassan Ali, and we used to be neighbors.
Okay.
And I mean, heck, I mean, up until actually, I mean, I still consider him a friend. I mean, he's never said a bad word to me. I've never said a bad word to him. So, I mean, maybe after today, he might, you know, I don't know. But Hassan Ali, my brother, childhood companion and friend, you're welcome on the show, brother. I would like to catch up with you, talk about some of the things, give you an opportunity to, you
Defend
know,
yourself.
clear the air or whatever the case may be. But I've always known him to be a good guy, and very nice. So
The
come
thing
on,
is,
come on the show, brother.
the tough thing about that is that 90% of these people are just generally good people,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's only when you start saying things about their beliefs, saying things about their sheikhs. Hassan Ali's position, for example, he's probably held as like a scholar in the community, you know, the Azhar graduates or whatever. So they get forced in these corners where they have to kind of defend stuff that you if you went to any classes at Azhar, then you know like this stuff is bullcrap, you know. But because of family, because of whatever, you get stuck in these situations. And if that is Hassan Ali in there, you know, he's in there trying to attack somebody else, but totally ignoring the fact that we said that you believe in shirk,
Sure. Yeah.
right? You want to talk about someone allegedly being in the club and all this stuff, but you're ignoring. I said that I'm saying that you believe in shirk, and you're like, yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that. Let's talk about the club.
And
I
again,
will go to the club with someone before I go to some place to practice shirk knowingly.
mhm, yeah.
If I had two options to road, it was like, okay, go to the left to the club or go to the right and do some shirk. I the
Going,
easier
let's put
choice.
it this way: going to a shrine is
Mm-hmm.
worse than going to a club because the
Mm-hmm.
shrine is shirk. Okay,
Mm.
Allah won't forgive that if you die. If you take that with you to Allah, you know, doing this shrine stuff, what they do in the shrines. You know what I mean? I won't say that if you go to the shrine. Going to a shrines is haram. You're not allowed to build shrines. Rasul said to level every grave that was built up with things over them was a flatten them to a handspan. So you're not supposed to build things over graves. You're not supposed to make graves a place of worship. So that's a crime. That's something very, very clear in Al-Islam. So you know, I would say that a person who builds and believes in and goes to shrines is in a far worse position than a person who, you know, may do anything else that you're referring to. So
Yeah.
be careful. This, and we don't even know. It might not even be him. It might just be a troll account. But still, whoever it is, be careful of what you're saying there, buddy.
And again, you all are welcome on this show. It is an open invite. If you believe strongly and have some sort of like knowledge that we don't know, because there's this hidden knowledge, then come support that hidden knowledge right here with Mubarak and Jafar. We got you. All right.
I mean, literally, I would not even need any, and it's not a boast or a brag or anything. It's just really, it's literally common sense. I don't need no pre advanced warning, no prep, no nothing. I could be sound asleep. You can wake me up and say, "Hey, this brother wants to debate you about the seven sultans." I'm ready to go. Ready to go. So I don't understand these people who believe so strongly in these things that
You know
are
why? You know what it is, right? Because like we wouldn't even have to debate them. You can come on our show, literally we won't even refute you, and we'll just ask you questions about your belief. And the problem is, it's just like, you know, for instance, right? When say you're like, okay, I'm a little overweight, I need to probably work out. It's very hard to actually step on the scale because you're like, yeah, I don't want to see what I weigh right now, right? You're like, I don't want to step on the scale. They're afraid to step on the scale because they're going to see how, once they say these things out loud in the public, they're going to be like, yeah, that sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, that don't make, they're going to realize it don't make sense. So they're like, okay, let's avoid this conversation at anything possible just to stay away from it. You know, because I was asked, okay, do you believe in the seven sultans? Yes. Tell me about the belief. Where does it come from? Do you have any Quran? Do you have any hadiths? Do you believe that they're the same as Allah? They're going to have to answer those questions, and they know the answer to those questions is really going to put them in an internal conflict within themselves.
And that honestly is sad. These proud, tough, strong people in any other instance are, too weak, too afraid, too ignorant. I don't know what it is, but they whatever is needed, they don't have enough of it. But maybe that's why. Hey, maybe that's why that a woman had to come from another country to lead them, because they just don't have what it takes. They don't have what it actually takes to say, you know what, two dudes, pretty much, just family men, three guys actually, and actually it's more than that. A lot of people, who
Behind the
do
scenes.
a lot of good work behind the scenes and stuff. Maybe they don't want to be known, but I won't say that it's just us three. It's actually a lot of people who do try to help with what R2F does. But I mean, for just we're not anyone special. We don't have some sort of army behind us or with us or anything like that. I mean, literally, it's a conversation that you're afraid to have. Maybe it's like, oh, well, we just don't have any respect for you guys. So we're not gonna engage. I mean, literally, we're talking about the religion. We're talking about the akhirah here. We're talking about Jannah and Nar. We're talking about possibly people going to hellfire over their beliefs. This is the highest stakes you could possibly get. So to dismiss it would be a mistake, a big one.
And how much of a hero would whoever be if they can come on the show and convince us that the seventh sultan is so right and true? You would be, they'd put pictures of you up in the shrine and make sajda to you.
I mean, listen. Hey, listen, they would be, even if they came on the show and literally just went toe to toe. They put forth their proofs and evidences or whatever the case may be. I mean, hold up, what? Okay, hold up. New bulletins, breaking news. Hold up. Let me see if this is something legit. Yeah, keep talking. I gotta check something.
All right, so I'll play the video real quick. Just the last video we have before we wrap up the show. Again, people watching, people that are on the right path or trying to get on the right path, and people that are involved in indoctrination, pay attention to what these guys are saying and think about how this stuff applies to your own group.
Some of them are subtle. Rather than milk a cow once, would you rather milk a cow once, or would you rather own the cow? You would rather own the cow. So what they do is win over the cow first. How do you win over the cow? You win over the cow by showing genuine behavior. You do not take money. You outwardly follow Sharia. And then when the person is drawn in and is enclosed by your group, then step by step, you make them violate the laws of Sharia, and your grip around them becomes tighter. So rather than milking them once, you've milked.
Okay, all right. So you milk the cows repeatedly because it's better for you if you own the cow.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Official announcement. Announcement. We will have Hassan Ali on the show on November 8th.
So
the 8th.
Yeah.
The 8th?
Yeah.
Oh
or not November 8th. Hold up. What time? Hold up. What day? Hold up.
December 8th. December 8th.
December 8th.
All right. So Wednesday, middle of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, whenever. This is the time, this is the date. We said anytime, any day. So yes, December 8th, we will have Hassan Ali on the show. I'm looking forward to seeing my brother and friend. At least that's the last time I've seen him. We were so.
And if you have any questions, or if you want to go through some kind of liaison, if you want certain questions that you want us to ask us, or certain topics to stick to, or whatever, let us know. This is what we do for all of our guests that are on the show. But we already know what we're gonna be asking you about. It's funny. I read that comment and I read I'm the 8th,
Yeah, I was
And I was
like,
like,
oh,
oh
he's
shoot,
Sultan?
we got
Oh,
another Sultan.
He's Sultan of Alia or FITRAH, whatever you call him. The Mickey shakes.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, but it's I hope people are seeing the severity of what this does as far as this cult behavior, this deviancy, going away from the path of Islam, abusing people, forcing families to break up, forcing marriages, and all these different things that we've heard in the show. Take the time to think about it and think about the instances that happen in your group, because the real problem with this is, and this is really what motivated me to even speak out publicly, because I didn't speak out publicly for a year until after having my experience, is that this stuff leads people to leave Islam, right? Because people are so indoctrinated and they don't know what is true Islam and what's not. So everything gets lumped together. So the forced divorces, whether it's domestic abuse, whether it's forced marriages, whether it's living in poverty, all these different things that are happening, people associate that naturally with the religion that they're following. And recently we talked to somebody who has, because of TMOA, because of the instructions of Jelani and his administration and the teachings that he brought, this person actually left the fold of Islam. And alhamdulillah, they are actually back on the fold of Islam. Allah guiding them back to the fold of Islam. They retook their shahada and they're back on the straight path. But this is the danger. How many people can you think of that aren't around anymore, or maybe aren't practicing the way that they should, or have like kind of a bad view of Islam just because of all these negative experiences, where we have everybody, me, R2F, the people in TMOA, you have the ability to work towards stopping this from happening to future people. You have that ability. Whether you want to do it inside of TMOA, go ahead and try. You'll be out pretty soon, but you could try it inside TMOA to try to change things and make things better. Do that. If you're outside, do that. You don't have to be on a soapbox like us. Do it within your private circles. There's plenty of people that we're in contact with that do that. We want you guys. There's certain ways you can handle things, right? We want to be the best we can. You could stop it with your hands. And in most cases, we can't stop things with our hands, right? The second way is that you can speak out against it if you have the ability. And the third way, which is the weakest way, is to just hate it in your heart, right? And what goes along with hating it in your heart, if you're going to go do the lowest one, you actually have to leave it, right? That's part of hating it in your heart, is leaving it. So those of you that don't want to speak out and want to just hate it in your heart, you actually have to leave TMOA to fulfill that. And that's the weakest. But you can stay or try to stay, but you have to speak up. Everybody has the ability to speak up, whether it's privately in their own circles, to their own family, social media, come on an R2F show, whatever. You can speak up and help stop all these transgressions and help lead people away from the shirk and all the abuse.
100%. And one more thing, just to piggyback off of Jafar, is like, are you just waiting for it to happen to you? Because this isn't like an outlier thing. This happens to so many people. Like the brother on here, he's not the only person I know who lost their wife because the Jamaat just got them divorced. So it happened to them. It happened to them. Like it can happen to anyone. Like folks are like, oh, like, I would never get kicked out of Jamaat or I'll leave the Jamaat. My parents probably thought the same thing. They're probably more important than you are to the shape. Like, so it can happen to anyone at any time. So like, besides maybe like K2, none of you are safe. Y'all can just smoke. Yeah, like if K2 or Umar wakes up the wrong day and is mad, Ahmed, you can be gone.
Yep.
Like you're not safe. I don't know who this is.
Ahmed's trying to be that one, yo. He's trying to be that one.
Moving on up to the east side, yes, sir.
Isn't there a movie called The Sultan's Husband or something like that? Or Sultan's Wife? The Sultan's Husband.
Life is the Sultan's husband. He out here.
Yo. You're gonna be like, I can't even take credit for this, man. One of our brothers really he's one coin to jump, but it had me in stitches when he said he gonna be like Aladdin, literally going from rags to riches.
Come on.
He gonna be like Aladdin, man. Yo, it's gonna be I'm gonna show you the world.
All right, we got Hassan Ali has confirmed for the 8th of December. MashaAllah. We'll see you there, brother.
Alhamdulillah. All right.
Yeah.
8th and the 8th. That's
Look forward to that.
Alhamdulillah.
Hey, listen,
I can't wait for that one.
A midday show.
But here, I'm gonna make a prediction before we end the show. We'll end on Mubarak giving some last words and closing us out to do it. But I'm gonna make a prediction. He's not gonna show. Someone's gonna contact him right after they watch this tomorrow morning or tonight and say you are not allowed to go on that show. It's gonna be Noor, it's gonna be Sultan or somebody, just like Mudasa said he was coming. Mountain Man, still in the mountains.
Hey, listen, I'm looking in the chat right now. He said he's confirming that he will come on. So literally, if he doesn't come on, we know what happened. Noor walked him down. I mean, like she basically said, sit your tail down. You are not going to go on that show. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. I mean,
or they're gonna force his wife to get another divorce, and she's gonna maybe.
I mean, hey,
that'll be the next one.
I don't know, but
all of a sudden his wife's gonna be asking for a kula, and we're not in good living conditions.
I believe that he has enough time between now and then to get every Jamaat scholar together in one phone call, and they can go over all the points they want him to speak about. He'll be the pride defender from TMOA. All right.
Yes, and we can even save them time. You don't have to do any research for any support for the Seven Sultans because you won't find anything.
We have all the references for the Seven Sultans. We actually have them, so we can help you. We can help you support your case. We can do it. Don't worry.
He says nobody tell me otherwise. He's on confidence, so alhamdulillah. I will hold you to your word, brother. I will hold you to your word.
Honestly, I will be so shocked.
No, wait, let's be clear. Let's be clear. You're coming on the show, the Zoom call, and going to talk. We're not talking about you showing up in the chat and typing stuff. We're talking about you coming on this show with your video and having a conversation. Let's be very clear.
Yo, I think this is a troll, man. He said
I think it is. I think it's a troll.
Yeah, I think it's a troll too, because no woman will instruct me. Stop it.
No woman will instruct me. He's out the Jamaat right now.
Right now, yes.
Someone literally called Hassan Ali right now and woke him up like, yo, this is what you say? He's like, huh? What
I do? You're gone. Your trailer's mine now, buddy.
No. I'll find it hard to believe. But hey, we're gonna leave this slot open.
Yeah. You're again. Everyone's welcome to join. It's an open invite. Team or not.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah, man. Sorry. Listen, man. I know I probably shouldn't have made that Aladdin comment, man. But
that is he moved up in the world, bro. A brand new, not a trailer, a double wide. He out here. Have a house in the land. He's different.
Oh man.
Oh man. We probably should wrap up before I start singing this.
Yeah.
Gonna get us canceled. Crazy.
Okay. Let's see. Are there any other
questions?
Let's see.
Closing questions, anyone?
Any other questions? I think that's it, man. You know.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I tried to warn some people. I said, man, listen, we're gonna try hard, but this show might get away from us a little bit just because some of the subject.
I think we did pretty good overall.
Yeah.
I'm so biased, but I mean,
we got a question. What's the question?
Oh wait, we have one question. Go ahead.
We're only
25 over. Should the shrine in South Carolina be bulldozed?
Yes,
very much so. The holy shrine that miracle I didn't see in ever.
Yes. It's, I mean, they have a grave inside of it now too. It's like it's what's her name? Amira Najah is buried in there.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Somebody in the jump.
Yeah.
Was that her house? Was that her house?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was her house. Yeah, and they took it and made it a shrine and had some Mexicans build the wall and moved her to another apartment.
They didn't get Muslims to build the wall on the land. The construction workers they have there, all of them.
Nah, they had some Mexicans and they were like throwing cinder blocks at each other on the like they they built that joint in like a day.
Any of the Mexicans see Mubarak Yulani and like while they're working on the shrine or no?
Yeah, when the crackhead saw him peeking from behind a curtain or something. I don't know why. Let me.
Yes,
The dude was tweaking and seen a beard, and that was it. I seen that guy right there.
8:30 p.m. Eastern. All right.
Yep. 8:30 Eastern.
Please contact Jafar Mubarak, not me, because I'll block you, but everyone else.
Yeah. You got to send somebody a real text, so we can send you the show invite. The number for the show is, what's our login number?
Hey, listen, I actually got a random out of the blue conversation. It was actually after our K2 video, smacking people in the face video, our debut hit single.
Our hit single.
8:30 on the 8th, absolutely. But what I'm saying is that Hassan Ali actually has my number because I got a random text from him and then abruptly stopped. He was talking to me for a second in Arabic. He texted me in Arabic, and I responded in Arabic. Then he started texting in English.
He was testing you.
Yeah.
Isn't Mark really about this like he portrays? Because he's so holy now.
Dude, he went to Google Translate and typed the message and then copy and paste that show. Let's see if this dude knows Arabic.
So he has my number, so you can text me and just confirm or whatever. And honestly, let me say this, man. Sometimes we do joke, honestly, talking about his wife, because it's his wife now, getting a khula, something, living conditions and stuff. I mean, that's a little that is overboard. We tend to goof off a little bit sometimes. I think that was a little bit extra. We don't want to make fun of anyone's living conditions because to every person, their financial situation or economic situation is not something to laugh at if it's in a condition that they hope to improve upon. So our apologies for that. We definitely didn't mean any harm, and we probably should not have gone there. Nor is it really appropriate to joke about people's marriages possibly ending and things. It's not really a joking thing. Maybe amongst friends when it's a light situation, but for this we probably should avoid that. So our apologies directly to you, Hassan Ali, and anyone else who may have been triggered a little or offended by those comments. Really, it's not our intention. It really isn't.
I mean.
All right, I think that's it. We got the time. We gave him the show login number for the Zoom. So wait, he says, oh yeah, okay, no, okay. So I think we're all set. Wait, no. According to the Sunnah, should it be leveled right? Well, Allah's name shrined on the debris. Well, yeah. if oh gosh, I can't even get into that one. And wait! I got another video.
Okay.
Real quick, I forgot. We had two things that we were supposed to cover. I forgot. Gosh, how did I forget this?
I was thinking that we were just gonna save it for next time because we.
No, did you want to cover it real quick? Because they.
I think maybe we should push it to next week so that
we never do.
Okay.
It's like an hour extra. Yeah.
Let's give it a proper addressing because I think we.
Okay. Because we got the news of the other 6 Sultan and we got the COVID cure. That's the two things we have left.
Did you already have that stuff like ready to roll or
it's ready to roll.
All right, let's do it. It's fine. If you want to do it, let's do it. I'm cool.
All right.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Wow. Bread or something. You're gonna say this is the miraculous
Oh
the,
my
mir-
God.
the,
I
mir- the,
can't.
mir-
Miraculous loaf.
I can't.
the miraculous bread loaf.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
miraculous
I'm
loaf.
trying to, seriously. I mean, if you had the option of that, I mean, they got allegedly Allah's name in a piece of wood. I
Mhm.
mean, listen, Allah. I mean, if it's a miracle, and I was talking to somebody about this week, a miracle is miraculous. It's so amazing that no one can dispute it. Otherwise, it's not a miracle. Because people are like, yo, I don't see nothing. If I'm struggling to see it, it ain't a miracle. These are some random, well, these are actually the people who Jelani got the scheme from. So the playbook, it's like you know what I mean, in the water boy when the dude you know, his had his playbook or whatever.
Yep.
You know, it's basically Jelani swiped the playbook from this group that just showed this you know, this you know, baked bread or whatever it is. They basically claim it's a miracle that's in some toast that the Sheikh's wife made or whatever.
Miraculous
And
toast.
it doesn't look like anything, just like the alleged miracle in the wood on Islamberg doesn't look like anything. So it's not miraculous. It's unfortunate that not only TMOA but other people fall into these, you know, not miracles too. So hopefully, if any of those people are, you know, watching, someone get the video to them. That's not a miracle. It's just bread, just like this wood in New York.
And just so people know that this is the wife of the other guy who claims to be the sixth sultan.
It's Baha
So
Ali,
the-
whatever his name is. The other sixth sultan, the seventh one or the fourth one.
I don't even know, man. These guys, it's like Mark says, it's just crazy seeing the same template being used. Just
Is that
and,
raisin bread?
yeah, and then like you look at the writing, just like the thing on the wall. It's like, is that Allah's name? Like, are you really telling me that that's Allah wrote his name that badly? That
Terrible handwriting.
Yeah, if Allah is gonna write something, that's gonna be the best writing you've ever seen.
Right.
If Allah's gonna say, yo, I'm about to write my name here as a miracle, it's gonna be so nice. You're gonna be like, that is amazing. No human being can write that good. That's just too nice. Not some daggone crusty bread that you're like, yo, I wouldn't even eat that. I mean, it doesn't even look good enough to eat. So it definitely ain't a miracle.
But I wonder if they ate it though. Like what? Like, are you gonna eat it? And then if you don't, what happens when it starts molding? You're saying Allah's name like molded?
And probably as soon as she finished taking the video, she probably dusted both those pieces of bread off quickly and went on about her day.
Dipped it in some curry. And but here's the last one. Here's the last one we'll have. And this is just to kind of preface our whatever the word is. This we'll just read the headline, you know what we're talking about. So there's multiple people, just dozens of people that are in TMOA, even the Sheikh's own son, they've been drinking this magical hair water. And we covered this, originally throughout the years, right? About this whole, because the Muslims had this text going around that said, do this thing with the Holy Quran, read it, and then you'll find hair in it and put it in the water, drink it, and it'll protect you from COVID, right? And we've been saying for long as, listen, it's a hoax. It's been around for decades. It's nothing new, right? And people were doing this, and they still do this. For in Jelani's household, they actually have a water like cooler with the hair water in it, and they drink every day, right? And it's supposed to protect them from COVID. Then you have people, I know people from that's connected to my family that they're doing this, drinking it, giving it to their kids, and they're still getting COVID. And then when you talk to these people and say, okay, you got COVID, may Allah, cure you, protect you, make you healthy. Did you drink the hair water? Yes. Are you still drinking the hair water? Yes. And you got COVID? Yes. And they still don't put the two together that obviously this hair water is not working.
Nah,
Right?
man, I wasn't spiritual enough for the hair water to work for me, obviously.
And on top of that, let's go ahead and make sure we let the Jelani apologists know. So basically, when Jelani, because first of all, some people try to be like, oh yeah, Jelani gave us a cure for coronavirus. Anyway, so come to find out, I guess the actual wording was somebody brought it to him and was like, yo, this is finding hairs in the Quran, and he said, well, to do it, or whatever the case may be. You might know the actual quote, Ja'far, but the point is that Jelani co-signed or signed off on this hair water thing, and here we are looking at the Christians, and that's not just the Christians, the Buddhists, and all types of other people. Then the same thing with their holy books or whatever, finding hairs and saying they're the hairs of some holy person and drinking them with water, and it's supposed to cure the coronavirus. These Christian people basically gotta tell their people, y'all are out of pocket. There's this stuff is not curing no coronavirus. It's just your nappy hairs that you found in your own book, and that's it. If they got to tell their people that, why would the Muslims have to actually tell? I mean, how are Muslims falling for this? The Christians are even telling their people this is foolishness, and here we are, pretty much following in their footsteps. So
crazy.
Yeah.
Number one.
So has debunked the reports that he had directed the people to check their Bible to find a strand of hair which they would put in water to wash their face as a solution. It's like they're smart enough not to drink it. Just wash your face, you're good. Right?
Oh my god.
Right. And at least this guy's like, yeah, I ain't say that crap.
I mean, but like in the defense of the members of the Jamaat, right? Like Jelani's daughter did have the whole video about like my aunt had a dream about the prophet, and he said this is the freaking this is the drink to do to cure COVID. So like if you're in the Jamaat and his daughter says that someone in the family had a dream, clearly you're gonna believe it, because I mean, why would she lie? Now sure, she's really the video later on because she's a rat, but like the video was up there for a good while, and everyone's like, mashallah, I drank the hair water, I feel safe now, sister. Like, no, you don't. None of that's true.
Well, and just before we sign off, just we have confirmation, and we'll check this number to make sure it's actually him. But someone texted me saying that they're Hassan Ali confirming the Zoom at 8:30 on December 8th. So
okay.
I'll check with some people that may have his number to see if that's actually his number. But we'll schedule it, and we'll go from there. Alhamdulillah.
Look forward to that, inshallah.
All right. So I think that's all the comments in the chat. The questions.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Ooh, okay.
All right, Mubarak, on you.
All right. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. December 8th. Gonna be a good
December
show.
8th, you guys. So we'll be actually real quick, just to clarify, we will still be on next weekend.
Yeah.
So 27th and the 4th. So we'll have 2 more shows before we get to the Hassan Ali show. So just to clarify, we'll still be on next Saturday, 8:30, everybody, not 9:30, 8:30. And that's it. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.